Hello, hello, and move too fast. Got to make the morning last. Just kicking down cobblestones, looking for fun and feeling groovy. Do do da da da. Feeling groovy. Oh, that was very nice, Joy. Oh, we're having fun.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome to
Thank
my
you.
world.
Well, one of my finest.
Oh, this is going to be a good show.
I'm so proud. Thank you.
I'm so glad. We got a lot.
What an open.
It's good. It's good. And John, you've been patient. Hey, there's all right. Lovely, lovely lady. Thank you, Joy, for gracing us your presence and music, and it's going to be good. And John, you guys, I hope you had a good week. James, you're getting over this little stuff like I had.
Yeah, you guys were a little under the weather last couple of weeks, right?
Well, we're under the weather.
Did you apologize to your audience for being absent? Did you have to call the boss and tell him that you're sick? The owner of the
great podcaster in the sky.
Yeah.
Yes, I told him. He said, "Don't show up if you can't do it."
That's right.
I said, "Okay, next week I'll see you."
Yep.
And that's what it is next week. In Florida, this is what's called spring break week. And everybody heads to the beaches or heads south from the ice and cold. And
a lot of different schools have a lot of different weeks off, and it's been going on now for like 6 weeks.
And on. Yes. So I was going to share with you, John, I always do this ode to March or April, whatever.
Oh, no, not this ode thing again.
Well, this is ode to spring.
Uh-oh. Okay.
And last year I did it, and I had some really beautiful pictures of spring, and but I'll share that with you in a little bit. But right now, this is ode to spring 2019. It says, March is here, and don't you dare think you're getting a free pass from here. From where to there, time to think of buds and places, springtime in the myriad of complacences. Yes, I can. Yes, I will. I will try to be the person I'm going to fulfill. My dreams, my desires, my destiny calls, I'll be ready, one and all. But there's a definite things to ponder and plan and reflect. It's not going to be easy. It's going to take time to garner respect. Respect from myself, respect from you all, respect from my brethren, one and all. It may take hard work. March represents a chance to shed our winter garb and have little buds appeal all over us, turning into April flowers near and dear to us. What will take showers to grow and nurture, that's part of spring, because we are counting on things, and thinking also counts that takes time to encourage. Like with creative juices, it takes a regular diet of water and wine to let it flourish. Somewhere this cultivation of spring becomes summer. So don't let's get sidetracked. That would be a bummer. So open your eyes, open your heart. With the feeling of spring, it becomes a way to shake off the cold ice and the snow. Let's go forth and prosper and make a better show, a better way to go. Be proud, be smart, make a good start. We can do it. It's part of me, it's part of you. There's a lot we can do, and that you know. Okay, that was my ode.
You wrote that yourself, Bill?
Yeah.
How long did it take you?
Well, I have this thing. I'll have to show you next time. I have this recorder.
Uh-huh.
And somewhere between 2 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
That sounds like something that would come into your head 2 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
It sounded groggy, huh?
Yeah.
And I record it, and then I polish it up. And I got my Star Trek cup here. It's life not as we know it. Well, you know that once you enter this studio.
Yeah, it's like being in a transporter room.
Transporter. You wish you could transport yourself.
I wish I could transport myself out of here.
You ain't going nowhere, bud. Okay. So, John,
Bill,
we're doing pretty good.
you think?
Yeah. Did that sound? Yes, we're doing
Yes.
very, very good.
Very optimistic.
So we're making headway on the YouTube Bill Sefakar channel. Spreaker.com, the American Dreamer Show lives on. And
And what's
two
the
other
one?
things. There are two other big
iHeartRadio
Yes.
and
Spotify. Yes, sir.
Wow. And so we have people listening on all those.
I guess.
Are you sure?
Want to call?
Well, we can pull up. We can
Well-
pull up the stats somehow, somewhere.
Bill Sefakar. We're getting almost
There's
30.
someone.
We're getting there. Subscribe,
Subs-
transcribe, prescribe.
Are you subscribed to any of our channels, Joy?
We're going to sign her up.
You're going to,
I
right?
must do that.
Yeah, you must do that.
Yeah, we
I
got
must
it because
do
we're going to
that. I
sign.
follow you on Facebook.
Okay.
Yes, she's wonderful. And Joy, this is good. We got a couple of we should sort of have our what do they call our routine here, and then we're going to get into the fun stuff. Well, actually-
What's coming up here isn't going to be fun?
No. Actually, this is the fun stuff.
Oh,
In addition
I'm
to the
confused.
really fun stuff. All right. Last week, I went through the Sunday papers. John, do you look at the comics a lot?
not since I was about 14. No,
That was last year?
I
Okay.
wish.
Okay. All right. So anyway, the past Sunday, they had so many fun things that I cut them out, and I really had a good time.
They still have the family circus.
Yes, this is so cute. So cute. The father is making lunch for the kids. And the little girl, she's about 5 or 6, she says, "Daddy, I don't think you're supposed to put lettuce on a peanut butter and jelly sandwich."
I guess it was just a little bit healthy.
All right. And then this is bizarro. It says, "Your Honor, the prosecution is taking my client's fraud, blackmail, bribery, forgery, and racketeering completely out of context."
What comic was that?
Bizarro.
Bizarro is the name of it?
Yeah.
And
Then Shu is one of my favorites. His nephew comes in. He says, "What are you drinking?" He said, "Smart water. I paid $4 for a bottle for it." And his uncle says, "It's not working."
Well, now, I have a question about comics in general now. A lot of them are reruns, so to speak, like Family Circus. They're just like Peanuts is still in the comics, isn't it?
Like Doonesbury had a
Yeah.
There's some.
They're all reruns.
Some
But
of
there's
them-
some new ones.
I catch a lot of new stuff.
Mhm.
And
Maybe
this
I
one,
should go back to reading the comics. Maybe
this
I'm
was
missing
really
something.
special. This was like one day they had. I just said I got to share this. This is another Shu. His boss calls him. He says, "Hey Cosmo, how you doing with that story I'm waiting for?" He says, "I'm working on a draft." He's at a bar with a glass of beer. He's working on a draft.
Working on a draft.
Okay, now this one, because John, you love music, and
Uh-huh.
so this is from Reality Check, and it's so cool. This is like the weatherman, you know. It says, "In the weather,
This looks like a long one.
it is, but it has all
You
these
sure you don't want to
songs."
save this one for next week?
I'm in the middle of the weather right now. The weather's rain. He said, "You've heard of purple rain," so it says, "In the weather, we'll have purple rain in the morning, but it will start raining men in the afternoon. Then it will be windy with stormy skies, with dust in the wind." Remember those songs? "Tomorrow morning will rock you like a hurricane, and we'll be running against the wind in the PM. We'll be thunderstruck, followed by a black hole sun. After that, somewhere over the rainbow, I can see clearly now. The rain is gone on the Doppler. Then here comes the sun, and we'll be walking in sunshine for the rest of the day. The long range forecast, it'll be cold outside in the month of May, followed by a cruel summer. But do you remember September? In September, do you remember in September? We'll be chasing the clouds away. Then we'll have November rain. I wrote down the other months, but the answers, my friends, are blowing in the wind." I mean, these stuff, and this
Wow.
is Beetle Bailey. and they're trying to cheer up, the colonel general. He says, so that they come over to him, they say, a good laugh heals a lot of hurts. And he says, a smile is a curve that sets everything straight. And then another one comes and says, an optimistic laugh to forget. A pessimist forgets to laugh. An optimist laughs to forget. A pessimist forgets to laugh. And then, the most wasted day is one without laughter. And they look at the general and say, he's still frowning. Don't give up. We'll find his smiley face. So I thought that was kind of cute. So
I'm forgetting to laugh.
do you want to have a smiley face?
I'm forgetting to laugh.
Take your two
Because I'm a pessimist.
fingers and whatever, and go like that. Is that on? That was on. Okay. And then we have some quotes, but there was a couple of ones that I wanted to share because it has to do with our guest, and I want to really make this special. Everyone brings us something of value, even if it seems totally negating to us at the time we receive it. That was Alice Walker. And this was Jeannie Phillips, quote. She does Ann Landers stuff. She says, you're old when you notice how young the derelicts are getting. And this one doesn't have an author. They don't just put it in as a crypto quip. When you always get the uncontrollable urge to climb mountains, I'd say you're drawn to scale the mountains. We have a couple of other ones. Stevie Wonder, I think I might have mentioned this, but Joy, I have a very dear memories with our moms and stuff, and special.
Yes.
And this was from Stevie Wonder. It says, Mama was my greatest teacher, a teacher of compassion, love, and fearlessness. Isn't that beautiful?
That's beautiful. Yeah.
All right. Now this one gets me into this because I got a lot of stuff to share with you with Joy. But this was another crypto quote. Need to set priorities with a question mark. When you need to set priorities, consult a piano technician. They're skilled at addressing key issues.
There you go.
Okay. All right. Well, I have with me one of my dearest friends and acquaintances, and it's just been a beautiful kind of relationship with Joy over the years. She's a cantor in her own right, a musical spiritual leader or a spiritual musical leader, won't you? You can dwell on that. But she's played at a few of my weddings. I wish.
There's a
A few of your weddings. How many weddings were there, Bill?
A few.
A
A few weddings.
Usually, if it's a couple, that means two. That means more than two.
Well, there were only two, and I wish there would have been some bar mitzvahs or some other special occasions, but that never occurred. But she is so talented. And she has so many programs. She's at colleges, universities. This evening, before the studio show, she was at a meditation prayer meeting.
Yes. Well, I was giving a meditation service at Unity at Palm Harbor. Yeah.
It sounded so beautiful.
Oh, it's lovely that they do that. It's kind of just nice to have a little time for contemplation and meditation and quiet in this crazy, wacky, hurried world. And so it's a weekly, midweek meditation, and from time to time I'm asked to lead it, and that's really lovely.
Yes, but that's
I think we should actually meditate before this show.
Well, maybe that would be good. Maybe she
right
could.
now
Right now.
No, we're not meditating, John, and we're not doing yoga.
I think
so
we'll
don't
help
even
us.
think about it.
Okay.
All right. But this is not
After
even
the show.
the tip of the iceberg. She teaches at the colleges, Eckerd College. She has so many different kind of venues, Broadway shows and hits. and she had a class on "Oh Say Can You See."
Wait a minute. Let's clarify that.
Go, please. You can jump in. Yes.
I do contribute to Eckhart Ollie and USF Ollie. I have contributed to in the past for a number of years. I've been contributing to Eckhart Ollie since 2000, so almost 20 years now. And Broadway shows means I put on programs of Broadway music and a parade, Tin Pan Alley, vaudeville, all kinds of standards, but not that I've done Broadway shows.
Well,
maybe that's in the future. Maybe you are our
Oh.
prognosticator, but
Well, we have things that we want to share.
I had to clarify that.
But I remember you did something about Tin Pan Alley and Broadway and all these
Yeah,
beautiful things.
I love to do programs about the Broadway music, about the American musical theater. It's one of the
Everything.
subject.
This was on the
Popular
celebration
American Songbook
of America, and you had all these songs that you presented.
That's that was kind of a neat one in honor of the month of February and the Lincoln's birthday and Washington's birthday,
Beautiful.
President's Day program of music about America. That was a lot of fun.
We did an ode to February.
Yes.
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 Yeah. Oh, and followed it up with an
Yeah.
ode to March. I
Yeah.
hear.
Uh-huh.
And next week's going to be Earth Day, April. Well, Joy and her husband have Tune of the Century studio in their home in Palm Harbor. And I produced 2 of my CDs with their help. And one was Dreams and Things and Thoughts from the Heart. That was the first one. And then in 2014, we did this one, Let Your Heart Sing of Loving and Living Life Every Day, which James put on. We have it on Spreaker.
I was gonna say, where can we listen to these tunes? On Spreaker?
Spreaker.
All right.
That's it. And we're really good to let everybody know they can enjoy it. And we're going to let you enjoy Joy.
Enjoy Joy.
And we're going to do a couple of songs that was from the second CD that Joy, I accompanied her. She's presented it.
Well, a word of a note that we're using a little synthesizer keyboard because the space here is very limited. So
Yes, when we did it in your studio, we had a
yes, of
nice-
course, we had the grand piano, but
Wow.
here it is what it is, and it is a little
Here you have the grand
synthesizer
Yamaha.
kind of thingy. You ready?
Well, this is the 59th Street Bridge song, and it goes back to my roots because I grew up on Queens, and it connected.
Oh no, you need to put it
My
back
aunt-
on him because
No. Manhattan and Queens, and it's a feeling groovy song. So we almost ready. We are.
And here we go.
Slow down, you move too fast. Got to make the morning last. Just kicking down the cobblestones, looking for fun and feeling groovy. Feeling groovy. Hello, lamppost, what you knowin'? Come to watch your flowers growing. Ain't you got no rhymes for me? Do, feeling groovy. Feeling groovy. Got no deeds to do, no promises to keep. I'm dappled and drowsy and ready to sleep. Let the morning time drop all its petals on me. Life, I love you. All is groovy. Feeling groovy. Hello, lamppost, what you knowin'? Come to watch your flowers growing. Don't you have no rhymes for me? Do, feeling groovy. Feeling groovy. Got no deeds to do, no promises to keep. I'm dappled and drowsy and ready to sleep. Let the morning time drop all its petals on me. Life, I love you. All is groovy.
Feeling groovy.
Life, I love you. All is groovy. Yeah. Thank you, Joy. We got a surprise out of James. He didn't think that was going to turn that way. But that's what makes this fun. 22 shows. Could you imagine how much fun this has been? Well, that's our thumbnail because we have Joy and I looking at the lamppost so that people want to know what's going on. Hello, lamppost.
It was a lamp with a post, indeed.
Use your imagination. All right, we're going to do something. We're going to shake this up. Shake it up, baby. Is that usually we have...
Cars, isn't it?
What's that?
Shake it up. Never mind, carry on.
Yeah, that was the Isley Brothers. Anyway, this next song was also part of that second CD, and it meant a lot to me because...
Higher Ground, right?
Yes.
That's Stevie Wonder.
No, he loves to...
Red Hot Chili Peppers? No?
No, it's not Turning Your Heads either.
No. Which one is it? Who did this one?
John.
This is John Denver.
Oh, John
Yep.
Denver.
Yep.
It's a different Higher Ground.
Yes.
Yes, I think there have been several.
And
It's a popular title.
Yeah.
this was his last CD and title cut from the CD in 1989. It says a lot about the man and about life. And it takes you to places where you think you might not be able to go. But this man gave us the courage and inspiration to reach these points in our life. And I'm hoping I can reach the points with the song because it means a lot to me. And Joy knows that. She helped me with this on the CD. But it comes to haunt us and inspire us. He was a great man, a great human being. And the song will share what it meant to him to be able to do what he did in his lifetime. It's Higher Ground. There are those who can live with the things they don't believe in. They are giving up their lives for something that is less than it can be. Some have longed for a home in a place of inspiration. Some will fill the emptiness inside by giving it all to the things that they believe. They believe. Maybe it's just a dream in me. Maybe it's just my style. Maybe it's just the freedom that I found. But given the possibility of living up to the dream in me, you know that I'll be reaching for higher ground. I will stand on my own. I will live up to this vision. I will trust in what I feel and follow my heart until it brings me home. brings me home. Maybe it's just a dream in me. Maybe it's just my style. Maybe it's just the freedom that I've found. But given the possibility of living up to the dream in me, you know that I'll be reaching for higher ground. Keep me through the night, lead me to the light, teach me the magic of wonder, give me the spirit to fly, spirit to fly. Maybe it's just a dream in me. Maybe it's just my style. Maybe it's just the freedom that I've found. But given the possibility of living up to the dream in me, you know that I'll be reaching for higher ground. I'll be reaching for higher ground. I hope I did it justice. It's beautiful. It was a movie, Higher Ground, about him leaving the thresholds of society in the urban area, and he goes up to Alaska, and the beautiful pictures, and on the plane he's flying in the mountains, the ice and stuff, and he sets a whole new life in Oakland.
Who started in the movie?
I think it was John Denver.
It wasn't John Denver, was it?
Yes, it was John Denver.
Well,
He was in the movie?
I never saw it, but I assume it was about his life and his flying and the things that were inspirational.
Yes, definitely. That was after this movie called God.
That's right. I forgot about that.
With George.
Yeah, with
George Burns. Well, we have fun.
Yeah, I forget that John Denver was an actor.
He did.
Oh,
he
yeah.
did. He did a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And of course, he loved to fly.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
That was his end, but
a little bit too much.
it was
maybe.
so inspiring to him.
And he inspired us.
Yes.
Well, I come across a lot of stuff, Joy, and I like to bring it in. And we've done most of these shows on Wednesday.
Okay.
Wouldn't you say the 22 shows, what we had, maybe 18, 19 were done Wednesday?
Yeah, but most of the time it's Wednesday because that's when I'm free. Basically.
Yay! He's the dictator. When he can
I'm a dictator.
he can make it, we make it.
Right.
Well, I came across this book called Wacky Wednesday.
Is that Dr. Seuss?
It's Theo Lessig written. He used to have a nom de plume. A nom de plume. That was Dr. Seuss. And it's really cute because, and then I looked up and I said, oh man, that's how Wednesday Wacky began. And it goes through. I'll let you borrow the book, John.
Okay.
You have 2 weeks.
I have 2 weeks to read it.
And then you get
it's a fast read.
And then you get 2 cents a day.
Give it to me. I'll read it right now.
Look, if it takes a long time, you can listen to the audiobook.
Oh, yeah, is it an audiobook? Good thing.
Cliff Notes.
While you're driving, you can listen to the audiobook, and that way you can catch
Cliff
up.
Notes. So you remember the thing about the mountain and scaling it, and if you climb mountains, that you're likely to something scale. But this was on our Follow Up Your Dreams. It's called Faux Inspirational. And unfortunately, there's only 12 of these, but we always pick this is like the last one because we've had so much fun with these. The one that we love is the one about the eggs. Remember, John?
What? Sorry, I was reading the book.
Oh, you can't do 2 things at one time? Come on. Yeah, you remember the one about the
Did you
chicken?
make this or what? What is this from?
It's just a little thing about follow your dreams, because that's what this, American Dream
Right, but
song.
is it? I mean, was it a promotional?
Sure,
something?
sure.
Where'd
No,
you
it's
get
you
it?
buy it like when you buy your calendar stuff. And so this was,
So this is the thing you purchased.
yeah. It's
Okay.
like a
I'm
little thing.
confused.
Little thing.
Word to
little
this.
thing. I didn't know if you picked it up at some
Yes,
shop or
Yeah, whatever.
library or.
but this is one we always like.
I'm going back to Dr. Seuss.
Have fun. Okay, don't count your chickens before you stop and ask yourself, do I even own any chickens? That's so cute. But this is the one about the mountains, because don't give up until you climb the mountain, comma, and then still don't give up, because you'd be stuck on top of a mountain. So that's kind of cute too. And we have our dreams and stuff. But I have a couple of things, and I'm wearing my Rays shirt because tomorrow is the opening of the Rays, Tampa Bay Rays, and I'm hoping to go. And one of the things, and I'll bring it for next week, John, I mentioned it with our group. We have a group that has tickets, and a few years ago,
Billy's Baseball Buddies.
Billy's Baseball Buddies. That's what it is. We've had season tickets for each year, and I used to go with my folks, and they'd love to go. I even have a baseball bat they gave my dad. It says Joe's Slugger.
Oh,
You remember my
great.
dad, Joe? Joy was with us for so many very wonderful family gatherings.
Yeah.
We're going to get back into that, but I just want to say there was an article in the St. Pete Times about 4 years ago. It said, "God loves baseball," and in New York Times, and he went through a litany of stuff of all the, national pastime, and in spring and everything comes out, and it was really nice. I have to. I told my buddies I'm going to share it with them, but maybe I'll bring it in next time. And Joy, I can't tell you how much it means to have you here. I've been saying this, and when you have dreams and you want to see them come true, I've been so blessed. Dr. Dave Kalin, who
Yes.
was our first guest, and he spoke so highly of you, and he's a good magician.
Yeah, he's
special.
a thoughtful man.
And I want to share something with you before we get into your special things that are happening. I've been laboring with this. I was supposed to go to New York and Washington with family, but I couldn't go because it was not going to work. Dave went to Cuba for 8 days for a medical mission with doctors, and they met with health officials.
Do you bring back any cigars?
Yeah, I'm going to ask him. He calls me at 11. The phone was probably tapped. He calls me. That's all he needs. And Havana rum. That's all I need. I have it in my cabinet. They're going to come and get the excise tax for it. Anyway, 11:15 last night, he calls me. He arrived yesterday from Cuba and he calls me to find out about how my cough is, throat.
Wow.
I mean, what is it?
Yeah.
This is family.
Yes.
And your family. I have so many fond memories of, and I want to find out how, as a cantor, you don't have to tell me, you can fast a whole day for Yom Kippur, and you're there in front of the congregation in the Holy of Holies. How you can, the whole day fasting, and still have that great strength and spiritual guidance. It's just so overwhelming, and you've done that.
Thank you, Bill. When I first began the cantorial work, it was the fasting was one of the most difficult things for me because singing actually requires a lot of energy and a lot of breath, and you want to be alert, and you want to be very well fed. Well, we have the meal before Yom Kippur begins, but you're going to sing, so you really cannot fill your stomach up with a whole lot of food. It then won't be a comfortable night, especially with Kol Nidre. It's the opening service. It's a service that needs a lot of energy, needs to not be heavy. And then there's a long night and a long day
26,
ahead of
27
you.
hours.
It's a long time, yeah, because you're actually fasting before. Really, but well before the service, we're going to come in early, and then you're going to really be working through the day, and then fasting through the service well into the past sundown, so that before you're going to eat again. Now I think I get into a groove of it. There's just I don't know, an energy and a certain breathing pattern. And
spiritual.
In those early years, when I began it, which was in the early 90s, I really worried about getting a sore throat, not feeling well, not having the energy. In those first few years, I can recall really getting faint.
I'm not surprised. Like running like a marathon.
I'll tell you a story. There was, in one of the first years, I actually did. It was as we were about to go into the Ne'ilah service, the closing service, and I began to faint. I didn't know it. It just overcame me, and everybody grabbed me and scared her to the kitchen and get some brownies. And they had the.
You have to have that.
I was going to ask you, what's the first thing you eat?
They had all the food laid out for the break the fast. We were not going to follow fasting rules. They got me in the kitchen and they started to stuff brownies in me right before Ne'ilah. It was very strange.
We'll just take that.
Thankfully, that experience never occurred again. But they had to get me alert again. I went into just kind of a faint from not having eaten. But now, really, I'm quite used to it. And you get into a rhythm, and it's not that it. You think about, that's the hardest part. You think about food. Maybe I don't even eat that much often. My meals can be scattered, and I don't eat a lot for meals. But as soon as you know you're fasting, all you think of is
sometimes
food. And you have to get that out of your mind and get into the music, and there's a kind of rhythm and a breathing and so forth. And then as you become the music, and now it's not so hard, but in those early years, I will never forget.
We never knew.
Fainting and having brownies stuffed in my mouth right before the Ne'ilah service. That was an experience I'll never forget. That was probably around 1992 or something. That's very early in my
career. Well, your whole life has been entertaining and performing, and I want to ask you about some of your new endeavors. You work in so many different venues and with different congregations, Jewish, non-Jewish, Unitarian, Universal churches, and you had that, we talked about that meditation.
Yes, the Unity. I do quite a bit.
Yes.
With Unity. It was a wonderful congregation.
You've done so many things. Now, you have a couple of things in the future that you're planning to?
Well, we can actually make a new announcement today, because I've known for a couple of weeks, but haven't really been able to say a word about it because we hadn't officially made the announcement. But I'm truly excited, thrilled to have been chosen by WMNF Radio in Tampa, Community Radio in Tampa, as
radioactive
the new host.
Radio, right?
Indeed. As I will take over as host of the Sunday Simcha, which is on Sunday afternoons from 1 to 2 p.m. in Tampa. But it's also an internet broadcast, so it can be heard on the internet. And I'll begin that June 16th. So Shlomo or Steve and Jordan Shorsky have hosted this program for over a decade, for many years with Kevin Fry.
Yes, I remember.
And Steve and Jordan have hosted the program themselves for the past a couple of years since Kevin's passing.
Yes,
and before that, Mike Eisenstadt.
Well, that's what I want to share with you.
So I'm quite honored in any way, just to say I'm deeply honored to be taking over the show.
You're going to do beautifully.
Steve and or Shlomo and Jordan wanted to retire from it, to have more time on their own, to travel and to do all kinds of things, and I have been selected to take it over, and I feel very, very honored. It's a wonderful show, beloved in this community.
Yes, I will share it.
And I have all kinds of creative ideas.
Oh, I'm sure you.
I am both thrilled and terrified.
Well, it's going to
be. There was that feeling of, oh, great. Oh no! that came over me when
I think this is
kind of like when I started doing this show.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, oh great!
Yeah, I'll bet.
No!
Oh no!
John, you sure you said, "Oh no"?
Maybe that wasn't my exact words.
So I'll be coming in late May to come in as a guest with Stephen Jordan, and then June 16th I'll take it for the show. But of course, the Sunday Simcha has been on since
so I'm going to share
the
this
late
with,
70s, I think.
With Mike Eisenstadt.
With Oded first, and then Mike took it over early in the 80s, yes. And when Mike passed, Kevin took it over, and so it's been a wonderful show all these years.
Now, for our viewers out there, Simcha in Jewish means holiday or celebration, joy, festival. I mean, you can see it as many things, but a celebration, a Sunday celebration. I'm going to share with you because John was assistant director at the Pinellas County Public Access TV.
I was?
Yes, you were, John. Don't argue with me.
You were.
And then he went over to Hillsborough County Hillsborough Television Network. And we had a fun thing when I was doing the B'nai B'rith Presents Jewish Life in Tampa Bay. For Hanukkah, we would come over, Alan Fine, and
sure,
and we would bring latkes, the potato pancakes, over to Mike Eisenstadt, and we videotaped. He interviewed me, and we were videotaping his radio show. So give that some.
How come you never bring latkes to our podcast? Bill?
Well, I will do that.
All we get is Papa John's.
Hey, that wasn't too bad today. Anyway, so it's a fun thing you're going to have doing that, and really know that you're going to do a wonderful job. We're very blessed to have you in that situation.
Thank you, Bill. I feel very honored, and I'm excited about it.
Okay, in closing up the show for this week, I have a couple of things. Last year at this time, in the end of May, I was fortunate enough to be with my sister Bonnie and brother-in-law Lee, who sometimes watches and sends cryptic messages, but that's okay. We went to the March of Our Lives in Washington, D.C. There was over 800,000 people. And I will share with you next week. I have pictures of the march. There were over 500 marches, celebrating this special time around the country and the world. So also, we're planning to have Dr. Herman Koren, Dr. Hank Koren, who was selected as B'nai B'rith Man of the Year. He received so many accolades from the highest echelon of public and environmental health throughout the country and the world. And he's going to be our guest, a call-in guest. So we hope that's going to arouse some interest, and you guys keep tuning in, because you never know how this is going to turn out, like me. And
what?
That was not a laugh.
That went right, but that was a delayed response.
Was that some comic relief here? Anyway, I want to tell you something that
I want to tell you that we're running out of time.
We're running out of time. All right. When we did, with all the stuff that's happening today and around, we had on our Valentine's Day show about mothers are the greatest love to provide us, and Mother Teresa. And she said that if we have no peace, it is because we have forgotten that we belong to each other. All right, remember that. True. If we have no peace, it's because we have forgotten we belong to each other. So remember, if you can dream it and wish it, then you can see it, then seize it. And go forth and make music, because I made music. This is a gift, and thank you with joy. And go forth, feeling fun and doing groovy, and doing fun and feeling groovy. Don't need to do no pause, keep. I'm dappled and drowsy and ready to keep. Bye. Bye.